Hell yeah, I got going on. Today we're going to be reacting to this Taekwondo video, exposing me and seeing how we can relate it to our situation. We're going to be reacting to this clip about top level thinkers. Let's get right into it.
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, I'm not going to lie, he might be crazy. He might be crazy. But when you look at Mike Tyson, right, and how he thinks, and his old trainer, Cus D'Amato, and how they talk about champions and top level fighters, and he said, yo, a top fighter, the physical aspect of fighting is 10% of boxing. The other percent of it is 90%. I'm telling you, I used to watch Mike Tyson's old trainer, Cus D'Amato. Do your homework on him, bro. And the heavyweight champions he's trained, and how he used to have Mike Tyson up here mentally. It really is, everything is mental, bro. I was watching that shit, bro. And I lie to you not, my life has literally changed.
I've never seen that, but I'm going to watch that after this. It seems like something that I would definitely be interested in. I want to pass along to you guys too. Let me know if you've seen that already in the comments, and let me know some of your takeaways from that.
Just based on the mental work that you do on yourself. Now, mind you, what's wrong with the average person? The average person is so distracted, they cannot get intimate enough to do this mental work. But I wasn't on that. This kind of was happening or came perfectly timed with like the end of my high school years when I was more focused than ever, and then quarantine at that same time, and even now, like where I'm focused and I have a level between myself where I'm like, I know where the right mental space is. Now, mind you, listen, when you work on your mental, bro, properly, not motivation. Let's talk about specific shit. Like when you do the mental work to understand yourself, when you say what's important to me. Like genuinely, I had a Patreon call with a guy. Like he came to the call, he's like, Ty, I'm undisciplined, I'm unfocused, I'm inconsistent. How can you be disciplined when you don't have a goal?
Let me jump right in. Hold on. I'm getting used to this soundboard. Hold on. I got the things written down. I'm trying to figure out which one is which. Hold on. Let me hit y'all with this one real quick. Hold on. Hell nah. Hold on. Talk to me. Alright, so let's break down this point that he's making. As you heard, he had a Patreon call with one of his members, and he was asking him what he should do. He was lost. There's a bug in my cam. He felt like he had no direction. The reason why he had no direction is because he had no goal, as you heard. And the reason why he had no goal or direction is because he did not know himself, and he did not take that time to sit down and really understand what is fueling him and why he isn't able to know or find his direction. Now, where I can add some value to your life, if you're watching this video looking for some direction, looking to see how top-level thinkers think and how you can think like a top-level thinker, go ahead and check the link in the description and get that purpose journal.
You have no direction.
This is hard as hell. You gotta know which one is which. I think I need a soundboard for real.
You be disciplined for? It just doesn't make sense. You putting the cart before the horse. When you do the mental work, get your vision right, or at least to a point where like you like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I think I want. This is what you aim at something. That's
all it really is. Just whatever you think you want, just go for it. And on the way to going towards what you think you want, you will actually find what is truly for you, right? So when I first started my clothing brand, I knew that it was something that I was passionate about, not realizing how much hard work it would be, but I shot at it, right? And now I've ended up on a path much closer to what I'm going to inevitably end up doing, which is all of it, right? But finding time to do it all. I'm not saying you need to go out and do 100 different things to see what is for you. I want you to go out and do something that you like and something that you enjoy. And on that path of doing something that you enjoy, you will then find something that is for you that will give you that direction and that goal.
Now you could be disciplined. Now you could be focused.
Hold on, let me get myself one of these real quick. New mule drop.
Focused. Now you could be driven. But you got to get the direction. You got to get the vision right first. You got, and mind you.
Yeah, you can't just go out and freaking just expect to immediately jump right into purpose without first doing the work that you need to do for yourself to create that vision. So what I'm going to do for you, right? I'm going to give you a 30-minute call where we can sit down and actually get to the bottom of this, get to the bottom of you, figure out what's stopping you, and figure out how we can navigate around those things, right? And then in that call, by the end of it, you should be able to pick something that you can shoot at, and then I'll also give you some goals for you to take steps towards that. I know it's the new year. I know you guys wrote down all those goals and New Year's resolutions, right? How many resolutions did you complete last year? And then think about moving forward why you did not complete those resolutions, right? And for this year, we're going to do things totally different. We're not going to just set goals to set goals because we want those things. We're going to find out why we want those things. And then we're going to work backwards to find out which one of those things or which of those things is actually truly for us. And which of those things will we actually work towards every single day consistently. That is the key. Yeah.
Going back to Cus D'Amato and Mike Tyson's trainer, the shit that's really stuck with me, I never forget he said this. He said, what's the difference between a coward and a hero? Or a coward and a person that is courageous? And he was like, nothing. Nothing. There's no difference between those two men. Cooling by the Bay, I appreciate the 25 months. Right? This was his thing. He's like, there's no difference between a coward and a courageous hero. The only difference is the actions that the coward makes identifies him with that of a coward, and the actions that the courageous man hero makes identifies him with that of a hero.
Supposed to be a ding there. But I also want to say my piece on what I think makes the difference, right? And it's slight. There's a very slight difference between, if at all. You know what? I actually do agree with this point that there's no difference. And you know why? It's because the one thing that sets apart is the ability to move through and act when you feel those feelings. So let's say you feel like a coward right now because you're not working towards your goal. Well, the difference between you and someone that is actually working towards their goal and is actually going to keep striving for it and keep achieving it and is going to inevitably get there is because they are able to act through those feelings of not being enough, not having the confidence. They're able to push through the anxiety. They're able to push through the worry, right? And that is the characteristics that you need to start working towards to be able to push those and push yourself and push through those feelings, because that is the only thing that sets them apart. Just being able to work with yourself and push yourself and encourage yourself when you feel those things and get past them. Let me clap it up for me again. Thank you very much. Okay, never mind.
And what the realization I had when thinking about that statement was that we put so much of ourselves on what we think and all this shit, but we don't really focus on our actions. How are my actions defining me? Where are my actions leaning me towards? And when you go back to your actions, you're not overthinking. I'm not overthinking. I'm like, man, I'm about to do this shit because I'm a hustler. I'm a grinder. I'm a locked in. That's it. I'm not trying to think, man, what should I do with my day? How am I feeling? No, I'm just doing that shit. I'm not even like, there's no thinking in a good work ethic because you're just going. You're just boom, 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 boom. Your momentum is just moving. You're not really spending a lot of time thinking. You have it figured out. You're just driving what you have figured out. But if you didn't figure it out or you didn't spend much time thinking about that, like, you know what? I'm going to run this bag up. I'm going to start this business. You can't expect yourself to be driven if you have no direction. That direction has to come first. Another thing he said, and then I never forgot this quote. He said, in life, you can... I need to just find the quote, bro. I need to find the quote. It's like, in life, you can...
That's hard though, because the person that he was probably talking to, and he knows this too. Taekwondo definitely is aware that this person is probably distracted, not knowing that they need to first do the work for themselves. And a lot of us never get to that point where we realize and wake up that it's within us, and all we have to do is truly sit down and put the phone down, put the YouTube down, put the TikTok, Instagram to the side, and just sit for 30 minutes and work on yourself, writing things down, using the 5 W's, the system of beliefs, the purpose journal, and using those things and those tools that we've laid out for you to help you find that direction. But if you don't ever take that time to find that direction, then you don't ever really want it, and all you really want to do is complain about not having direction. And then you'll end up living that life out and never getting to your goal.
You can have almost anything if you prepare to mentally. So I forgot how that shit go, but it was so on point, bro. And that was one of his biggest things, bro. He said, bro, a boxer, and this guy done trained champions. Boxing is 10%, and 10% of it is physical. I got the clip right here.
Psychologist.
Yeah, boxers are next level insane. It's like it's almost like medieval. If you guys were to think back to medieval times, right, when there was like sparring and they had shows in the Colosseum, right? That is basically the evolution of sports, and that's another reason, in another way, that you guys are distracted, right? You're watching these gladiators go at it, not realizing that it's distracting you from your purpose, right? And I got this information from my grandfather, actually, which was pretty interesting. And I love sports, but I do not watch sports. I do not watch NBA basketball. I do not watch football. Like, I don't have the capacity. It's not something that I enjoy. But the reason why is because I'm so focused and I don't really have time. Like, I'm reacting or I'm out in the field selling clothes. And even when I wasn't doing a business, it just wasn't something that interests me. But the reason why I mention that is because looking back to medieval times and throughout history, sports and entertainment has always been present, right? And why I mentioned medieval times and I mentioned like those Colosseum fights. You seen the SpongeBob episode where they were in the Colosseum and they were doing all the different Olympic things with the ice cream cones and shit. I know y'all seen that. Definitely comment down below if you've seen that episode. But those things, right, are very much at the base level psychology, right? And it's not a easy subject to break down, so I want you guys to subscribe so you can see the video that I'm going to make about it and see why sports were created to keep you distracted.
Life, you can absorb almost anything.
Hot take.
Scientist, I never allowed myself to be
But let me touch on the psychology part of boxing. I did do some boxing in my past. In my past, as in like 3 weeks ago, I was doing boxing for a couple weeks, and that shit is not easy, right? And I never got in the ring. One, because I'm just too pretty. Like, nah, let me stop. But at the time, I was doing it to get in shape to do some modeling. Never got in the ring, but when I was watching the fights, even at a smaller level, like the amateur level, people that are just starting off, I watched this fight between these two dudes, right? And one was a little bit more experienced and the other one was just starting off. And they got into the ring together. They were doing some short rounds. And the one dude was mentally beat. He was in shape. I was watching him work out. I saw that he was in shape, right? And I know boxing is a sport that you need to have extreme physicality, extreme stamina. I watched this kid exercise and I saw that he was in shape, and I saw him running on the treadmill, just breathing normally, breathing through his nose. But then when he got in the ring and he started fighting, obviously that does take a lot more energy because you're trying to use 100% of your power to, like, you know, knock it out. But the other fighter was breaking him down mentally, physically, and emotionally. He was talking shit to that nigga while he was beating him down. And you can see how that affected his stamina, right? He was starting to cry, like he was getting beat the fuck up, and he was starting to cry in the ring. And I'm like, damn, yo, this guy is really walking him down. But he was doing it. Not only was obviously, I think I mentioned this before, but the fighter who was beating him up, he was more experienced. But even though he was more experienced, he wasn't going to his full capacity, right? He wasn't going 100% because he knew this other guy wasn't that experienced. So he took it down a little bit, but still, even at his limited capacity, or even at him dumbing his talent down, he was just talking shit and beating his dude up. He was like, "Come on, yo." Like, yo, going at him. So I definitely see that mental aspect, and that, that emotional aspect of the sport definitely is major. So you guys don't really get to see or hear what they're saying in the ring when they are going at each other, but trust me and believe that they are going at it not only physically but also mentally through the words that they are saying and through their actions. Trust me.
Influenced by people unless they influence me with facts. Disciplinarian? Discipline. Discipline enables a person to do that which needs to be done, which is also like
I never forgot this
of a
quote.
professional, no matter how he feels with them. And fight trader.
I said I never forgot the quote, and then I didn't want to scramble it, but I was kind of close. I was kind of close, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, that stoic philosophy, especially when you're in the grind and you trying to do shit, bro, it's very important. Your mentality has to match your work ethic, because otherwise you're not going to be prepared for the type of shit you're going to deal with. A loss. You're not going to be prepared for a loss. You're going to crumble and quit. You're going you're not going to be able to prepare for a bad result. Your mentality is the only thing that helps you with that shit. Of course we get hit with ads.
I'm gonna stop it right here. I don't want this reaction to go on too long, but that is a major point that he just made at the end. And I want to rewatch that one more time, just so you guys can hear that. This is a major point that I want you guys to take away. If you take nothing else from this video, just take this.
Shit you going to deal with. A loss. You're not going to be prepared for a loss. You're going to crumble and quit. You're going you're not going to be able to prepare for a bad result. Your mentality is the only thing that helps you with that shit. Of course we get hit with ads.
If your mentality is bullshit, your goals are bullshit, your purpose is bullshit, if you are not able to change your perspective in the way that you think about things, in the way that you perceive things, and maybe you are currently perceiving things in a way that's beneficial to you, but if you're doing it from a place that is just based on motivation and not based on who you are as a person and what motivates you from your needs, then eventually when you hit that loss, just like I did, it's going to happen to you too, even if you do have a different mindset and you have that work ethic to match your actions. You're going to hit a wall and you're going to take losses just like I did, and you're going to want to quit and you're going to fall down. But what's ultimately going to, and I say ultimately all the time, but literally what's ultimately going to push you to get back up and get back on your path of purpose is your mentality. For example, when I started this clothing brand 143 days ago, I've been getting the math all wrong. So my fault if y'all heard some other numbers. It is 143 days ago. I checked this morning. Day 124 was 19 days ago. So 143 days ago, I quit my corporate job, right? And it's been so rocky. Like, as you guys know, I've been doing clothing brand. I've been doing reactions. I've been doing, back and forth, moving around and taking a lot of losses, right? And even now, I finally gained the belief in myself to go out and sell in person. I've been going out to Walmart. I've been going out to these different stores and talking to people in person and making sales, right? But I take a lot of losses. And even with these losses and wins, I still myself sometimes get down, right? And I'm already doing it. I'm testing myself every day, going out and improving, testing my belief that I have in myself that I'm going to be successful and I'm going to start and run and operate a successful clothing brand that makes over $100,000 per month, right? Every single month, consecutively for years and years to come, because of the foundation and the groundwork that I'm laying. But the reason why I say this is because if I'm not able to go back on those low moments and on those losses and truly reflect on why I'm doing it and truly pick myself back up without the motivation and work without being motivated when I'm feeling like when I take a loss and I take 10 no's, and then I go out and I ask another time. If I'm not able to pick myself back up and go out and do it again, then I'm gonna fail, right? My actions are not gonna match what I want to create. So this is why this is so important. I want to leave you guys off with this point right here. To go in the link in the bio, get your purpose journal. Find what is fueling you. Find your purpose, why you are here, what you want to do with your life, what is your goal, what are you going to aim at, and then we can begin to take steps together to lay out a plan for you for 2024. It's January 2nd now. You're not going to want to go another day this year without knowing your purpose and without knowing the steps that you need to be taking every single day. So go ahead and do that for yourself, not for me, because it's free. I just want to help you. I just want to help you. Thank you, sir. So make sure y'all boys go and do that. I'm gonna get some more sounds on a soundboard, just so we can switch it up a little bit, draw you guys in, and give you some information that's gonna help you on your journey. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to Taekwondo. As you guys know, I'm gonna be doing a bunch of reactions. I did one in the past, but my Streamlabs and my OBS was fucking up. So I'm gonna be doing more reactions to Taekwondo. So make sure y'all, if y'all subscribe here, go subscribe there with Taekwondo in the Dojo, and you will be set for life. You will be set with all of the information that you need to be successful. All you have to do now is go out and do it for yourself. Alright. Come on, tap in. Nah, I need to redo that. That was corny. Let me redo that. Hello.